Welcome back to Daily Persuasion. I'm Joshua Lisec, the best-selling author, co-author, and professional hypnotist. And it's through this unique talent stack that I curate the news and current events so you can better influence and persuade the VIPs in your life. And right now, the world is still going to wash with Vice President JD Vance's speech to NATO, to Munich, and how angry all of our greatest allies in Europe are as a result of that. So he single-handedly defended Western civilization in that speech. Now, here's what's interesting. There is a profound lesson about gentle parenting in that. Gentle parenting is this idea that there is no wrongness in a child's behavior. No behavior is right, no behavior is wrong, no emotion is right, no emotion is wrong. It just is what it is, and it's your job to understand the child and guide the child and to not judge. And tough love is not a thing. This is what gentle parenting is. And unfortunately, it generally devolves into fragile parenting, meaning it makes children fragile. And there's been a number of unfortunate viral videos demonstrating this drastically. We know that none of the literature support gentle parenting as being wise or any of its variations. Authoritative parenting, not authoritarian parenting, which is totalitarian parenting, which is you do what I say because I'm the boss, I'm the parent. That generally doesn't work, and that's abusive. But in the same way that the opposite of domestic violence is neglect, I think we can reframe gentle parenting as neglectful parenting because you're not actually guiding the child. The United States foreign policy with regard to Europe has been gentle parenting, it has been fragile parenting, it has been neglectful parenting. And when JD Vance shows up there, everyone feels uncomfortable afterwards because dad is bringing a little bit of discipline there. Here's how you effed up. And yes, you effed up. And no, you're not getting out of it. Here's what I expect of you. Why? Because we share the same values. Because we love you. We want you to be successful. We want you to thrive. And none of that is happening. And of course, he mentioned that the day prior, 24 people had been plowed down by some refugee. So some so-called refugee yet again. So what the populations of Europe are having done to them is they are having all aspects of self-defense and freedom of expression, even to the point of expressing how upset they are that self-defense laws are being rolled back and they're being punished with jail time. And so what we observe happening is angry citizens who are rightfully and righteously angry are spending more time in prison for expressing their views than the people are who are killing them and their children. Not cool. And so dad comes home. The child has become the parent, and that is the United States. And so I find it fascinating that Vice President JD Vance is in effect the spokesperson for 2,000 years of Western thought. And as you would expect, the fragile, feeble leaders, and many of them, of course, childless, so they have no stake in the future. The feeble, fragile, and childless leaders of Europe are reacting exactly the way that a coddled child would when receiving a little bit of guidance, shall we say, from dad or from mom, but in this case, it's JD Vance. So what I want you to take away from this is that what happens in one-on-one relationships often scales up to entire nation states, and it scales back down. The United States has been hands-off, enabling Europe, sending hundreds of billions of dollars over the years. Just do whatever you want. We'll take care of you. We'll defend you. You just do whatever you want. Treat your people however you want. There's no wrongness. There's no wrong behavior. There's no bad emotions. There's no bad feelings. There's no judgment from me. I'm an all-loving, I want you to like me, I just want to be your friend type of gentle parenting attitude. And the outcome of that has been the leaders have been gentle parented by the American influence, the global American empire, have become abusive and neglectful in turn and bullies to their own people. And that is what happens. We know from the literature as a result of gentle parenting, so-called gentle parenting, which is really, as I said, fragile parenting, meaning it instills fragility into someone, into a child, so that they are anti-resilient. So what ends up happening is that they either fight or they flee whenever it's encountering a difficult situation. So they find their little sister taking a toy from them. They punch their little sister to get the toy back because they're so fragile, because that's what gentle parenting results in. Or they flee in absolute tearful begging and pleading for their parent to get the toy back. A normal, well-adjusted, functional behavior would be, can I have my toy back, please? Or that's mine. I'd like to have it back now. That's not that hard, but that is what authoritative parenting instills in children. And that is what JD Vance is bringing to Europe. It's going to be painful in the same way that a gentle parented child is going to have a painful adjustment going to an authoritative parenting model, but it is necessary. And it is, in fact, in the child's best interest. Now, what is not in the child's best interest is neglectful parenting. What is not in the child's, and we know this from the studies and statistics, regardless of what your gentle parenting guru, coach person tells you. And what's also not in the child's best interest is, well, frankly, domestic abuse. Totalitarian, authoritarian parenting. You do what I say because I'm the boss. Do as I say, not as I do, because I'm parent and I pay for everything. And you live in my house, you follow my rules. Period. Neither of those methods work. It doesn't work in nation states. It doesn't work in, well, the little kids at home.